but doing really well. Did a search for this the other day, and all I see is Instagram photos of the Pixar ball parfait in front of it. People are really loving that. And then we have also our billboards as you continue down around the corner towards Incredibles Park. There's so many wonderful Pixar characters, and we have so many stories that we want to delve into. There were some we just couldn't dedicate an area to, so we said, how do we introduce all these other characters that are people's favorites? Up, Wally, Finding Dory, all these wonderful stories. So we find other ways to pepper them throughout the pier, and some of those are our billboards.
Yeah, including Coco, and that's actually the early concept art for the billboard. Yeah, we wanted to celebrate the whole family, and with Miguel, of course, putting on performance.
So then as you turn down around that corner, our next neighborhood to bring you to is Incredibles Park.
So Incredibles is my favorite Pixar film. I love it, and I'm a California native. I was actually born in Palm Springs, so if it looks Palm Springsy, that's because, I've been there a couple of times. We went through a lot of different iterations. There's a lot of fun challenges that you kind of have to work with for an existing attraction, and how to bring it into a very stylized world of Incredibles. So at the end of the day, we ended up working with Incredibles 2 production team and really kind of hand in hand up at Pixar, and the design that we kind of came up with was drawn on a napkin in the middle of lunch. It probably has some fish sauce on it. It's lovely. But that's kind of how that arose. And so we just really tried to imbue this area with some funky shapes, like you can see with the roof line there. Everything's sort of based on triangles and circles. We have a very amazing artist named Teddy Newton who is doing murals for us. So mid-century modern architectures can be a little bit drab in terms of colors. So we have 3 huge hand-painted murals that are done by this amazing artist, and they're all very, very stylized. So you can see a portion of it up here.
And Teddy was one of the original designers on the first Incredibles film, was one of the artists that Brad Bird actually brought up to Pixar with him to make the film, and so it was fantastic to go back to him and have him expand that story.
And you can see what his work looks like at the end credits of Incredibles, and now he's working on the end credits for Incredibles 2. So really excited about that, and we just started painting this today. So I'm like, oh my God, they're really excited, sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious. It's really fun to get to tell you all about this thing that's going to be open in a month, and then as soon as we're done, we're going back to keep finishing it.
Yes,
So.
exactly. I think I have paint on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the new vehicle graphics that are coming out. You might have seen them in the Disney blog post already. You've seen the trains probably going by with the orange and red paint. Those are going to have graphics on them very soon. You might see that in the next couple of weeks.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about the Incredicoaster story when we all move to the other space.
So story near and dear to all of our hearts is food, and Pixar Pier is no different from that. So continuing in Incredibles Park, we'll tell you a little bit more about that, but Jack Jack's Cookie Num Nums will be featured there. You got to get your hands on this cookie. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, and then within the Toy Story Boardwalk, well, we have Buzz, he's in Spanish mode, so we have Senior Buzz Churros, and everything that we're bringing into our Toy Story Boardwalk neighborhood, we're trying to play up that literally Toy Story, that everything is a giant, oversized object to really give you that fun feeling of being immersed, as you are when you ride Toy Story Mania and you've shrunk down to the size of a toy.
Yeah, so this other food kiosk that we have is a giant Poultry Palace fun meal box, and it's inspired by our Toy Story Toon short that's called Small Fry. And then here in front is a fun-sized Zerg that you can take your photo with.
Yeah, it's just so fun to bring those things to life. And then over in the Pixar Promenade, we're celebrating Anger.
Oh yeah, so Anger is going to be selling hot dogs of different spiciness levels, so as he gets more angry, the hot dogs get more spicy.
Food and beverage chains have been having a lot of fun with condiments, spicy sriracha, spicy mustards, all these different layers and levels of spicy fun.
Yeah. And then right next door in the Pixar Promenade, it was really a place we wanted to celebrate lots of different Pixar stories. And one of the centerpieces, of course, was the Mickey's Fun Wheels, now being rechristened the Pixar Power Hound.
Yeah, so we actually created brand new character art for all of the gondolas, and the artist was Ron Cohey, who has done a lot of artwork for Disney merchandise and things like that. And one idea that we really wanted to do for the Power Round was focus on the friendships in all the different Pixar films. So there are 12 pairs of friends from the different films. So you see Miguel here, and then we've got Hector on a different gondola. That's his friend. I really like how all the artwork turned out.
Yeah.
I think it's super cute.
Well, it's been fun because Pixar Fest was really a celebration of friendship. And, you know, we've all been just so excited to see that, you know, we're not just celebrating the movies, we're celebrating this emotional connection that our guests have to our characters and our stories. And it's been amazing to see the response. And that really, that same spirit kind of inspired the pal around. We wanted to keep that excitement and emotional connection that our guests have to the friendships within the film and the friendships that, of course, you come to the park to celebrate.
Also in Pixar Promenade, we've got a band shell moment. This is where our Pixar Philharmonic will be playing after they're done. When the pier opens, they've started now for Pixar Fest, playing in the back of the park. This will be their permanent home. Also, your Pixar friends, you might get the chance to have a meet and greet here with them. Then we have the games of the boardwalk just off the side of this image, and so we've taken those and turned those into Pixar stories too. So we're telling stories with La Luna and Wally and Heimlich's. We've got a little sample of what Heimlich's marquee is going to be for candy corn toss up there. Really fun colors, fun characters. You know, we wanted to pay attention to the shorts as well. You know, people love the feature films. People really love the Pixar shorts, and they have some really great characters there. So La Luna was a great chance for us to bring those into this area.
Yeah. And then right to the right of the band shell will be the Bing Bong Sweet stuff.
Yeah, so this is a candy shop that we've been working on, and we just thought that Bing Bong from Inside Out was a perfect character to have here because he cries candy tears. So yeah,
Happy tears, right?
yeah, always. So so we'll be telling you a little bit more about the candy shop in this area, but it's a lot of fun.
And then a new centerpiece of the land, much like the giant sphere over in Tomorrowland. That's amazing, the water ball that people love playing with. Well, we thought, well, we'd like one of those. So the Pixar ball is going to be brought to life. This phenomenal marble sphere for families and kids to go ahead and interact with.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And also bringing to this area a lot more shade, a lot more seating, a lot more comfort for guests. So this is an area that's not just an area you move through. It's an area where you sit, you take a break, and you really enjoy this park-like atmosphere.
Yeah, it's really been fantastic. We're completely redoing all of the buildings, not just a paint job. We're actually changing the architecture to try and really capture that spirit of those classic boardwalks that we saw throughout California.
On this side towards the Inside Out headquarters is where we start with a basic white massing model to kind of get our shape and form language correct. As we move into the Pixar Promenade area, it's more about architectural studies and how tall facades want to be and make sure that things have the appropriate hierarchy within the land. Moving over to Toy Story Boardwalk, we start to do color studies as we start to look at what does that roof line really look like when we punch it to blue and take it away from a red or a beige. And what does that look like from across the way when we're watching World of Color? All of those things we take into account. And then as we move into Incredibles Park and the entry, these are really how we finish the model. We take a look at texture samples and pavement patterns and all these things that tie together to really tell the complete story.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fun to work these things out on paper, but when you start putting a model together, it really comes to life. And one of the things we really wanted to do is we really want to transform this space for people. So the entry is really one of the most dramatically transformed. You know, this new archway with our Pixar lamp, the fantastic new bulbs up there, and then the Lamplight Lounge, really a transformed space, and the knickknacks. So we're really excited that it's really going to feel like you've come to a brand new place. And then, of course, all the work that Tracy doing with the Incredibles Park, really, it's gorgeous. I don't know if you have
Oh, the water wall.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about it. So over here you can kind of see it. It's a big kind of structure that's next to the carousel. That's a water wall, so it's going to provide some noise and some ambience and cool off the area a little bit. It makes an appearance in the Incredibles' new home, which is also what the roof structure of the new building is based off of. Part of the fun, and I call it sightline jujitsu, is when you start to build a model like this, you kind of get down with a tiny little camera from a guest perspective, and that's where we were trying to hide the original architecture of formerly Screamin' because it doesn't fit in with the mid-century vibe. So part of this is a little bit of sightline trickery and trying to figure out what that's going to look like, plus the color.
Yeah, and then as we move over into our Toy Story Boardwalk area, we had this carousel here. And so when we started throwing around, well, what could this be? And we started talking about all the great critters that we saw in Toy Story 2 in the flashback to the Woody's Roundup TV show. I said, wouldn't it be great to have a critter carousel? And of course, that would be Jesse's critter carousel. And so we're really excited. We're taking those original designs that Bud Luckey had done for Toy Story 2, and we've made some dimensional versions of all those characters. They've all been sculpted, and they're just, oh my God, so cute. So an incredible variety of critters, and can't wait to see that. But Jesse is right out front in a fantastic new dimensional sculpt that's going to welcome everybody to the experience.
Having two chairs looking this way?
Great.
Okay, cool.